The Cowboys OT is brought to you by Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and by blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today.
For the second time in 2023, the Dallas Cowboys eclipse the 40-point mark, this time with a 43-20 win over the Los Angeles Rams, improving to 5-2 on the regular season and setting up a battle for first place in Week 9 against the Philadelphia Eagles. They take care of business at AT&T Stadium, a complete win, offense, defense, special teams, and we're here to break it down for you on Cowboys OT from the Globe Life Studios at the Star in Frisco with Barry Church, Isaiah Stanback, Nate Newton in the middle. I'm Kyle Yeomans. Glad you're with us. Barry, it started early and then it continued often for the Dallas Cowboys. Mike McCarthy always talks about complementary football. They've seen it a couple times this year. They saw it again on Sunday.
Yeah, I think you used the perfect word when describing this game. It was a complete game. When you talk about offense, defense, special teams, they all came to play. We just saw, Kevontae Turpin taking that thing almost to the house, took it back to the 13-yard line. Would have had one to the house if it wasn't for a penalty for Nashawn Wright. So special teams, they came to play. Offensively, Dak Prescott, once again, extremely efficient out there, 25 of 31, 304, 4 touchdowns. You can't ask much more from your quarterback. And defensively, they're always going to give you a chance to win. We saw that pressure getting after the quarterback, 2 sacks out there. It wasn't a wow stat out there, but they had pressure on the opposing quarterback pretty much the entire afternoon. This was a complete win, and Mike McCarthy, got to give credit where credit is due. He's always going to have his team ready to play.
It just feels good when you can talk about a complete game. Sam Williams with the block punt for the special teams. Mike Parsons getting off the schneid, I feel, and forcing a sack early in the game, and that snowballed everything. When we played to our defense, everything's just seemed to roll real smooth.
Yeah, all 3 phases of the game, you had your impact players show up. Offensively, you had CeeDee Lamb show up. You had Dak Prescott show up. Special teams-wise, okay, you went out there and had Darrell Armstrong, who's your man up there, okay? He's your core special teamer. He was able to go out there and make a play while allowing Sam Williams to go out there and make another big play in terms of the block. You go to the defensive side of the ball. Who steps in for Trayvon Diggs? Trayvon Diggs is the man around the league in terms of taking the ball away. Not so fast, my friend. Deron Bland comes in with his 3rd touchdown interception this year, just this year, by the way. Yep. Okay, he goes out there and shows out. So you got all 3 phases of the game. The guys that you need to step up, stepped up, and that's what you need.
That's the thing, is that there's still ways for this team to grow, but everyone was contributing throughout, and it really started early on for the Cowboys. As we take a look at the highlights, Dak Prescott and company coming off the bye week. Mike McCarthy, 11-5 all-time as a head coach coming off a bye. It was the opening drive for Dallas. Didn't look good early on. 3rd and 11 after an early sack. Prescott sacked again, and at least for the moment, it looked like they were going to be forced to punt. Not so fast, Isaiah.
Not so fast. You see 37 Lake right there with the E-Honda hands, gets called for the intentional hands.
Yeah, the illegal contact penalty holds the drive alive for the Cowboys. It allows for Jake Ferguson to get open in the end zone, and Dak Prescott finds his tight end. A phenomenal throw over the middle. Dak to Ferguson, his 4th career touchdown grab, his 2nd one of the year. Both teams knocked through a field goal in that first quarter, but in the closing moments of the first, Deron Bland, you mentioned him a couple moments ago. He undercuts this pass from Matthew Stafford, takes it all the way to the house. Barry Church, you got to love a second-year DB showing off the confidence like that.
Oh, you got to love it. This guy is a definition of a ball hawk. As you see right there, eyes on the quarterback, undercuts the pass, takes the interception all the way back to the residence, a.k.a. the end zone. This guy is phenomenal, and that was a terrible pass by Matt Stafford.
First Cowboys player with 3 big sixes in a season ever as he continues a heater on that defense. So does Micah Parsons. His 6th sack of the year, and it forces Los Angeles to punt. Parsons in the backfield forcing this up the middle. Sam Williams, blocked punt. It goes out of bounds in the end zone. No chance for anybody to hop on top of it, but it's a safety. And Isaiah, you got to love the special teams impact as well.
I love it. You got all the guys up front making a big play. Sam Williams, eyes to hands, follows his hands all the way to the foot of the kicker.
And of course, with the safety, Dallas gets the ball back, leading 19-3. And the ensuing kickoff, Kevontae Turpin takes it down the right sideline, turns on the Jets. He needed one final block to spring it. Instead, he's out of bounds at the 13-yard line, but he sets up Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense yet again. 2 plays later, Dak looks right, right over the middle, that is, to CD Lamb. He has his first touchdown grab of the first half, and I say it that way because he had another one just a couple minutes later. This time, Dak has to show off the mobility, throws it again, end zone. Not deja vu, Nate Newton, but again, CD Lamb in the end zone with 2 touchdown grabs today.
Yes, sir. He found some room, and he scrambled right there to making room, giving Seal a chance to shake free, and he did.
Yeah, Brandon Aubrey comes in the third quarter. Dallas up 33-17. This field goal was a record tire. 18 consecutive makes to begin his NFL career, tying Travis Coons for the most all time. And then we fast forward to the fourth. One final score for Dak Prescott in this offense. Brandon Cooks works open. He's in the end zone for the touchdown. Cooks with his second straight game with a touchdown, and the Archer puts a 40-burger on the board for the Dallas Cowboys. Dak Prescott finishes 25 of 31 passing for over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. 43-20, the final scores. The Cowboys take down the Rams in Week 8. When we come back on Cowboys OT, we'll check in the Cowboys locker room. We'll go one-on-one with Jake Ferguson, who started the 40-burger for Dallas, his 4th career touchdown grab, and it was a beauty. We'll see it and talk about it next on Cowboys OT.
This segment is brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys get the win in Week 8 of the NFL season, 43-20, the final score over the Los Angeles Rams. And the scoring got started with Dak Prescott finding Jake Ferguson over the middle for the touchdown. Big tight end joins us now. Jake, another big win for this offense, got things rolling in the right direction. What did it feel like to snag that one and get things started that direction?
Yeah, it definitely felt like we were clicking that drive. We knew we wanted to come out first drive, and strike with 7 points, So I think we did a great job moving the ball down. It took everybody. Started with the O-line, great protection that whole way through. And I think just on that final play, that's trust right there. That's knowing, hey, I see certain coverage. I know where 4 is going to put the ball, and I just got to be ready to make that play.
There's been an added emphasis, of course, since the beginning of the season in the red zone of being uber efficient, taking advantage of those opportunities. Did anything go into the preparation this week a little bit different coming out of the bye week to have some success in the red zone?
I think it was really just trusting ourselves the whole week. Being clean on our execution. Starting last Sunday, starting even the week before. We just wanted to be clean on everything we were doing, whether it be route game, run game, anything really. And so just the extra meetings, the extra, meeting on the side. Hey, we don't like something in practice. Hey, let's get together after practice, talk through it, run through it. And that was just kind of that mindset where, hey, we need to be clean on everything today.
Now, you were exceptionally clean on the touchdown reception. That was almost a one-handed grab. You had to bring it in with both hands, but when you went back to the sideline, did you make sure that Linda Wells knew that, hey, that was a one-handed snag from one of his tight ends?
That's Dub calling the drill work to the teamwork. We work those catches every single day. Like 10 minutes before practice even starts, before we're out there for warm-ups, we're out there doing drill works, making those catches, and then even today we go out a little bit earlier than everybody, and we make those same catches. We do one-handed catches with tennis balls, and then we work to a football. It's just the little stuff that Coach Wells is putting us through that, it kind of makes those catches that much easier, kind of second nature.
Well, you guys continue to put in the work. The young tight ends really got into the matchup today. Luke Schoonmaker with a couple grabs. You had the touchdown grab yourself. What's the ceiling for this tight end room as you guys continue after the bye week and through the rest of the schedule?
For sure. We're still the horsemen. I think this room, top to bottom, can make a lot of plays for this offense, can be in multiple personnel sets, 12, 13, 11. I've been pushing for 14 or 04. But, I think this tight end room, we're not only close-knit, we're not only a good group of guys, but we're also a bunch of playmakers.
Hey, you can certainly see that. Last one from me, but big week ahead. Philadelphia, I know you want to enjoy this win, but what are your first thoughts whenever you see the Eagles coming up on the schedules this time around?
Yeah, it's always a big game. I think what we do is, we go through this one, we kind of flush it, and then it's on to the next. And we just trust our preparation, keep preparing like we have, and just play Cowboys football.
Jake Ferguson joining us here on Cowboys OT. Jake, thanks so much. Congratulations on the win, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
There he goes. Big touchdown grab. Started the scoring for the Cowboys en route to a 43-20 win over the Rams in Week 8. When we come back, we're going to hear from head coach Mike McCarthy. He's got to be a happy man because complimentary football was on full display at AT&T Stadium right after this.
It was brought to you by Ashley, the official furniture store of the Dallas Cowboys.
Welcome back into Cowboys OT. Mike McCarthy now 12-5 in his head coaching career following a bye week as the Cowboys dismantled the Rams at AT&T Stadium. Let's check in with the head coach as Coach Mike takes the podium at the home field.
Well, I mean, the whole thing. I mean, if you get here early, guys were here a little extra early today. Locker room was full, energy was great, and then be honest with you, national anthems played, and I thought our home crowd was unbelievable at the kickoff. I mean, there's not too many noon games where you see the crowd, the towels, the whole 10 yards. So, and I think really from that start into the performance of the team, the complimentary football in the first half was excellent. All three phases, contribute. Obviously with the turnovers, the pick six, the block punt, offense didn't punt. So, I mean, it's a great start. And, in a versatile football team that we had a tremendous amount of respect for, for what they put on video. We felt they were playing very well coming in here. So, very good win for us. And just going back to some of the things we talked about during the course of the week, as a coach, you love these kind of weeks because, not only did you win a game, but you took a step, just because of the Monday extra work, and practice was really good. Our young guys are getting better, and it's just, it's all part of the growth you're looking for. But it does push us to 5-2, and winning at home is really one of the oldest formulas in pro football. If you take care of your home turf, you win your home games, you're going to probably be where you want to be at the end of the year.
Tim Calishaw, Dallas Morning News. I know one of the plays didn't count because of a penalty, but you're watching the game start and Dak has sacked 3 of the first 4 plays.
Yeah.
What is going through your mind at that point?
Well, it's tested my game plan. So definitely, we wanted to come out and tilt more towards the passing game starting out, and then I definitely have the 2 sacks in the first 3 plays. But we stayed the course. Our guys stayed the course, and that's part of it. And that's the beauty of winning and still having plenty to correct. Just speaking with Dan briefly before I come in here, pretty much had the same conversation. We have a lot to work on, and that's a good place to be after a significant victory.
Ed Werder, ESPN. CD had a career high 12 catches today. He and Dak have been virtually unstoppable the last couple of weeks. What are you seeing evolve there between those two?
Well, I mean, you can clearly see the connection. Obviously, started last year, but just the off season, these guys have spent a tremendous amount of time together. The one touchdown throw was a new wrinkle. And just you don't have that kind of patience as a quarterback unless you truly trust the receiver at the top of the stem there, and it was a tight window throw too. So those goes, and hopefully it just keeps going too. But we obviously know that people are going to continue to try to double him and tilt towards him, and the importance of moving him around. But yes, Dak and CD are definitely connected, and had a big day today.
Mike, you and the players always get questions from us about what is your team's identity. This is the 4th win of by 20 or more points in 7 games. Does this speak to the complementary football and getting out to early leads and just kind of building on what it is you do best over the course of it?
I mean, when you look at just the way our team's laid out, I mean, there's big play potential. So you got to build that into the normal flow of how you want to attack games. But the identity is complementary football. You got to be able to run it when you have to run it, throw it when you have to throw it, and no different on defense. We know that people are going to attack us, through our run defense, and just because of our ability to take the football away and pass rush. And I just love what John Fossil's doing with the special teams also. And this is as young as we've been on special teams since I've been here. So, they stepped up big today. Obviously Turp had another huge return. It was, an unnecessary penalty there. But we're improving. And when you improve and you have growth, most importantly when you win, that's what it's all about. Because you got to stack success and the ability to have those. And I've talked about this earlier in the week. To have 4 out of 6 at home. home. We got to make sure we take care of these home games, and I just love the way they came. I love the way they practiced. It was nice to have an excellent week of preparation and fulfill it and rewarded with an excellent victory today.
And the Cowboys have certainly taken advantage of those home games as of late. 11 straight home wins at AT&T Stadium, their longest home winning streak since 1991 and 1992. When we come back, big part of that home winning streak has been CD Lamb. He had another multi-score game. We'll talk to CD in the locker room after the win, right after this. Cowboys found CD Lamb early and often in their 43-20 win over the Los Angeles Rams. Here's what wide receiver one had to say after another big game.
This game, I guess everybody's legs were fresh, including yours.
Absolutely. Coming off the bye, we knew we had an advantage, and we came out striking. That was the goal.
Could you talk about your second touchdown catch? Because you were wide open, and that play seemed to come just for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, it wasn't a bit scheduled. Dak did a great job of, scrambling in the pocket, playing above the 2.3. And then I did my best of being open and staying open. So,
were you surprised that the Rams you guys were so explosive against the Rams?
Not necessarily surprised, because that's what we're looking for, week in and week out. That's how we should play, and that's just more of a stepping stone to what's to come.
Thanks, CD.
Thank you.
We talk about times when things click, like did that first half feel like this Texas Coast offense finally really clicked like you wanted to?
Yeah, absolutely. And once again, I got started early, and it kind of opened up the offense for us and giving us, everything open, and just giving us the ability to call any play with no restrictions. I feel like that's when we at our best, playing fast and making plays.
The success you've been able to have with Dak, the completion percentage between the two of you, and everyone targeting, stopping you, how have you been able to do it so far?
Staying open, man. That's all I can do. And at my position, he's relying on me and I'm relying on him. So the best, we built the trust, coming in this year 3 together. Well, 4, dang, I'm getting old.
2020 was a blur.
Woo. But it's year 4 together, a lot of banked reps. It's huge, honestly. Just getting the game early, want to get the defense on their heels. Obviously, they're going to be focusing on me, so give them a reason to focus on me, and then I want all my guys to explode.
It's the San Francisco game that we asked you about what's the identity of the offense, and you say you wasn't sure. So in the last 2 weeks, you know what the identity of the offense is now?
We're explosive and physical. And I say that with full ability and capability. I know what we can do week in and week out, and we can definitely take the top off of the defense.
CD, how important is complementary football where, Jron's pick six, then the block kick, and then your touchdown, just all 3 phases working together in that moment?
That's ideal football. When all 3 phases of the ball score, I feel like that's a great day for the team, you know what I'm saying? And in this case, it's for us. So, once again, complementary football is priority number 1, and I always stand on each other and playing for each other.
What can you say about Dak's resilience? To start, he gets taken down 3 times in the first 4 plays, and then he plays a touchdown drive, and the rest.
Absolutely, and speaks a lot of him. Very resilient group. I know we say it a lot, but that's definitely another of our identities. Just being able to, bounce back from hardships and staying focused. Everybody got a reason, but we need a why, and Dak is our why.
CD Lamb now over 4 times in his career with 100 yards in a single half, and now he has 158 yards along of 26 multi-score game for the 6th time in his career as well. Isaiah got early and often started. They got him the football, and it opened up the rest of the offense as you take a look at the stats.
Yeah, that's what you have to do. You have to find a way to get your number 1 playmaker the ball, and make no tips about it. He is your number 1 playmaker. You found a way to get the rock in his hand early and often. He had 14 targets. He had 12 receptions, and you saw the stat line there, 158 yards. I mean, this dude is absolutely showing out. You don't have to push the ball down the field in order for him to have big plays, and that's what you're starting to see. He's taking these slants, he's getting first downs. You're starting to see these pre-snap shifts and motions to really open things up, get these leverages that they need for him to be able to get open, and also get the matchups that they want as well. He's showing up in a big way, but McCarthy's opening it up for him.
You know, he's finally getting a chance to showcase. You can throw it to him through air, or you can give it to him early. And he did the same thing in college. You just see him make play after play. And as more the game goes, you see he get more physical as a runner, more just aggressive as a runner, and doing the things that he need to do. CD Lamb, make no doubt about it, he's coming, and he's coming strong.
How much does it help an offense whenever you do get your playmaker rolling? And this offense has multiple playmakers. Still looking for Tony Pollard, still looking to see how much he makes an impact. But at least you got one of them going. How big can this be for this offense as a confidence builder moving forward?
You notice at the beginning of the season there, Kyle, we were the type of team that was trying to run to set it up. Today, they used the pass in the short game, and they did it quickly to get CD Lamb the ball, to get Cooks the ball, to get Jake Ferguson the ball. Now our running game, as the game went on, got bigger and bigger and bigger. And Tony wound up with not a lot of yards, but had a 4.4-yard average running.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. I don't think that they're having an issue in terms of their ability to actually be productive with their run. Tony Pollard only had 12 attempts. Once again, he's not getting the rock enough. But to your point, they're still being successful. So maybe the dynamic of this offense is changing. Collectively, they had 26 rushing attempts, 31 pass attempts. But they were able to be effective with their passes, and that's really all that matters. It's all about moving the ball down the field. It's all about getting first downs and ultimately fixing that red zone problem and scoring touchdowns.
Yeah, you got to continue to build on this, because this is one of the first times this year that the confidence level has been sky high for the offense. They got everybody involved. The defensive playmakers got involved as well, though. When we come back, trick or treat for Micah Parsons. Halloween came a little early. We'll tell you what we mean by that when we return with more Cowboys OT right after. Micah Parsons with his 6th sack of the season as the Dallas Cowboys defense got after Matthew Stafford, forced a big turnover early, and everything snowballed from that point forward. The Lion dressed as a full-suited Lion. Very interesting in the locker room after the game.
Has to feel better after a win to don this.
Oh, of course. I think, every week we're trying to go get a win, but when you win the way we did today, you feel good about it.
See Sam taking advantage of his opportunities. What were your thoughts about the way he got after it?
I'm always happy for Sam. That's like my little brother. I be trying to keep him on straight. And that's the thing when I tell him and he's worried about his opportunities and when things are limited, I was like, man, you just got to prevail. I've been through every phase of this journey. I came in and I played a lot, but in college I had to wait my turn. You just always got to wait your turn. It don't always happen now for everybody. And he realized that, and he's just been practicing hard, and it's just been translating to the game.
The offense was putting up points in that first half. We're kind of maybe lost in that. You guys go pick six, 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out, 12 pressures on Stafford. Just talk about the success you guys were able to have early on.
Yeah, it always makes it easy, and I always say that every phase helps each other. With the offense scoring, they got to keep going down and trying to score. They can't just run the ball. They can't just milk clock and ding and dunk. They got to put pressure on us too. Dak helped us create opportunities on our defense.
How do you like rushing over the center? When you can kind of go either way there.
Yeah, it's special. And it gets me away from the chips. It gets me away from when guys try to eliminate me. Quinn and AD's been finding ways to create one-on-ones, and as you can see, anytime I'm freed up one-on-one, I can win that matchup.
Do you sometimes see their eyes get a little big in those moments?
I definitely know that's not what they want to see when they peek up when they hold that ball. But same thing with the guard and things like that. I feel like I could rush anywhere.
When was the last time you were part of an onslaught like that, where you guys went from 7-3 to 26-3?
Man, I feel like really the Giants week 1, they felt like that too.
You guys have played 3 games at home.
Micah Parsons with another big day as he's dressed as a Lion. The Lion roared even more so on the defensive side of the football. As we welcome you back in to Cowboys OT, here's a look at the defensive numbers. Barry Church defense got after it early. Again, the numbers aren't going to jump off the page, but it was the constant pressure that Matthew Stafford was under early on that kept the Rams off balance.
Yeah, without a doubt. You look at those sack numbers, they're not going to wow you out there. They're not going to say, man, those guys are really getting after it. But if you looked at the game and you sat there and you paid attention, you've seen that defensive line was getting after after Stafford pretty much the entire game. He was under duress pretty much the entire game in the pocket. And once again, Micah Parsons gets a sack out there. And I love the little wrinkle that Dan Quinn threw in there. We seen it earlier in the season where we seen Micah Parsons moving around. This time they had him over top of the center. He was able to do that crossover move that you talk about on the center and get back there and get his one sack. So I love to see what Dan Quinn has done with Micah Parsons, using him as that chess piece. Hopefully it continues throughout the season.
You know, we like to talk sacks, we like to talk pressure, man, but just his presence when he starts out strong, and that's what we need more from Mike, is for him to start out strong. They had so much pressure out there, we forget that Matthew Stafford did not finish the game. I mean, he was beat up. He stuck his thumb through a helmet, face mask, and he tried to fight back. He's a tough guy, you know, here from Texas, but it just wasn't enough today. Micah Parsons, hey, you're one up. That costume you got him, Gal, Halloween is leaving.
You like the costume, don't you? I think you like a little bit of swag, a little bit of confidence, right? Well, that confidence is growing because they continue to slow down the run. You saw what they did in Week 6 before the bye week, slowing down Austin Eckler, holding him underneath 30 yards. Well, Freeman, 44 yards. Henderson had 31 yards. The Rams, as a team, held underneath 100 yards on the ground. Barry, they continue to take a step up in the run defense standpoint, and that is a huge plus for this defense moving forward.
Yeah, if they're able to continue that, like you said, it's going to be huge for the defense moving forward, because if they're able to make teams one-dimensional, it falls right into the lap of a Dan Quinn defense. We know this team, once they get ahead, they love to go out there and hunt. Micah Parsons was able to do that. He creates the one-on-ones for other guys like DeMarcus Lawrence, Odigizua, and the crew out there. So, to me, if they can continue to slow down this run, force teams to be one-dimensional, they're going to be a scary defense to contend with.
You know, Jonathan Hankins is starting to pay off. Big fella, big number 95. He's a plug in the middle. And now Mozzie is starting to learn what it is to play big boy football. It seems like he gets in there a little bit late in the game to make some plays. But number 97, Osa, oh, man, he's a beast, and he's growing. But we need you to get a little bit more consistent so when they try to double Micah, you can come big, my friend.
Yeah, I'd have to go back and watch the film a little bit, but I thought the interior played well. I thought Neville Gallimore played nice. I thought Mozzie Smith even made an impact. But overall, the numbers stand out. Cowboys slowing down the Rams in all three phases. Defense did their job. Dak Prescott was precise as well. When we come back, talk about his stat line and what he did right in the Cowboys' 43-20 win over Los Angeles. Dak Prescott finished with just 6 incompletions as the quarterback had his 8th career game with at least 4 touchdowns or more. He was precise, he was surgical, and here he is at the podium following the win.
Hey, Dak, David Moore, Dallas Morning News. You talked before about building a home field advantage. This is 11 straight, equals a franchise record. Just what you did today and what this says about this team, kind of where you are right now.
Which part? Yeah, I mean, obviously playing here, great environment, the fans, the atmosphere, place you're used to playing at, indoors. A lot of that plays a big part in it. Getting off to an early start, especially noon game, that was huge for us. And just on that streak, that's something that, you know, the mentality of these guys. We've set our mind to, you know, we're trying to work for something. Last thing we're going to do is let somebody come in our house and take that from us. So credit to those guys, all those men, just coming in focused. Honestly, credit to Mike and the schedule that we're on that allows us to feel good in these home games. I think that's a huge part of it. And then, just momentum. Coming off of the bye week, obviously we did well out there out west 2 weeks ago, but, you know, we wanted to make sure that we continued to build, and I think we did that today. We wanted to take a step in the pass game. I know that was a point for Mike, get some more attempts out there, and the guys did a great job protecting, getting open, just a successful win. But as I said, started off just on all 3 phases with the start, and that's the credit to it, is the defense with the big plays, then with the touchdown, punt blocked. Guys are ready to go.
Clarence Hill, 4-Star Telegram. Speaking of the start, it didn't start so well. I think you had 2 sacks, maybe 3 sacks, and they got turned away because of the illegal contact.
Thank God for that.
Yes. How did this flip? I mean, from that start with the sacks, and then for you guys to have, do so well in the passing game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's an example of just like playing one play at a time. Obviously, it wasn't pretty from the first play to the third or fourth play. And then able to get that, as you said, that DPI, and then just get rolling what illegal contact is.
Each play, man. Each play, you've got to be locked in. You've got to be ready to go. Just take it one play at a time, and then getting the momentum. And don't think about the last. As shitty as it was, or it could have been. Just move forward. Stay in the present. I think the guys did that. I mean, we could have easily put our heads down and started, pouting or griping, or got down on ourselves after the first couple of plays. But first one, all on me. Second, whenever the next one was, just a schemer. They kind of got us. And then after that, and I think guys do a good job of talking to each other in those situations. I know the offensive line's talking. I'm telling them, hey, that's on me. Don't think that you missed a block or you did something. Like, move on. And guys did that. We respond to each other. We communicate, and I think that's a huge part in it. And then when you're getting rolling, as I said, that's just the same thing as, hey, one play at a time. Like, just because it was good, doesn't think that, you know what I mean? Just stay locked in and focused, and we're able to do that all night.
Second straight week, Jerry said this was your best game. What kind of rhythm are you in with this offense?
Let's make it 3 next week. I'm in a rhythm. It feels good. It goes into, talked about the system. We've talked about it at nauseum, I guess, since going back to the spring, and things just really coming into play. A lot of preparation, being prepared for these games, for these opponents. A lot goes into it. And a lot of it's the other guys, so it's not just me. Part of playing this position, when other guys are playing their best, it makes you look good, and then you get, saying you're being told about you're playing your best. So we'll take it, but it's early in the year. We've got to keep rolling. As I said, we want to just keep taking this momentum, keep getting better and better, make sure that we're putting our best version of ourselves out there every week that we can, and that means taking a step. So 5-2, and looking forward to taking a step next week on the road.
Dak, Todd Archer with ESPN. You're over 80% completion rate to CD. Where does that come from?
Work. A lot of work. A lot of time put into it. Talk about depositing the work and being able to withdraw it when you need to, and you can go back into the off season. From the time we started way back in, I guess, April, maybe even before then, in my backyard, to the time that we spent in mini camp OTAs, to trips out to Atlanta. A lot of time invested, a lot of trust in that guy. He runs, he knows what I'm thinking. We're always communicating, and I think that's why when it's not going our way, it's frustrating, you know what I mean, because we put so much into it. But he's right now, we're reaping the rewards of everything that we've put into this, and it's just only going to continue to grow, because all that does is give everybody, himself, the whole team, play caller, everybody more confidence, and getting him in positions and allowing us to go to work.
It's always a good day at the office whenever you have nearly as many touchdown throws as you did incompletions in a game, and that's what Dak Prescott had. 4 touchdowns, just the 6 incompletions, 25 of 31 with over 300 yards. Isaiah, what did you see from QB1 and the way that he really broke down the Rams defense as the day went on?
Right off the bat, you take what he did, last game, and he took some sacks in the last game, but what did he not do? Turn the ball over. So much like the beginning of this game, he was faced with a ton of adversity, right? He was under duress, he was under pressure, and he had to take some sacks. But ultimately, he did what? Dusted himself off, walked back to the line of scrimmage, commanded his men, and continued to progress down the field, making good decisions, making good throws, and ultimately putting his team in the best position to win a ball game.
Yeah, this is back-to-back games where I think Dak Prescott has shown that he has the ability to be in that upper echelon when you talk about quarterbacks out there. And 2 things pretty much stuck out to me. One, he's using his legs a lot more. He's buying a lot more time out there for his receivers to get open. And even when that's, all kind of covered up, he's using his legs to escape and gain yards out there. And secondly, he's found that security blanket. Last year, I think, and the years before that, it was Dalton Schultz, where everything was breaking down. I'm going to go ahead and get it to him. This year, it seems to be CD Lamb. And that's a great thing to have when your number 1 receiver is your security blanket out there. You see it every week from now on. Hopefully that continues for this Dallas Cowboys offense.
Now, let me ask, I got to ask it, going into the Philadelphia game, is the confidence in this offense starting to build again? Have they begun to open this thing up the way that they need to?
Yeah, I think they're building in the right direction to go towards where they have to go when they go against the Philadelphia Eagles. But when you talk about that Eagles defense, that front line is atrocious. Then they already added another all-pro safety in Kevin Byard back there. So it's going to be a heck of a matchup, but I'm looking forward to it.
I think this is the most confident that this offense has been all year. And the reason being, you got Dak Prescott throwing for 80%, okay? You're able to get Brandon Cooks involved. You're able to get CD Lamb involved. Jake Ferguson's getting the ball. Tony Pollard's not getting the ball enough, but he's averaging 4.5 yards per carry. So you talk about hitting things on all aspects. They're starting to figure that out. Coach McCarthy's starting to get in his bag, right? He got his Dora backpack on. He's starting to dip into that thing a little bit in terms of the motions and the shifts. He's starting to understand the leverage advantages and the matchups. He's really figuring this offense out, and they're figuring him out in the same time.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen. The Cowboys offense is peaking. That's what Isaiah Stanback just said, right? I mean, it is. It's fair. Long way to go this season, and the defense certainly going to have to continue to help lead this organization in the right direction. When we come back, we hear from Jron Kearse off that defense in just a moment. Cowboys beat the Rams 43-20 at AT&T Stadium. Let's head back out and hear from more locker room reaction. This time, Cowboys safety Jron Kearse.
How does it feel to come out this way in the field?
It feels great. It feels great. I talked to D-Law, talked to Micah right before the game, and we said, let's come out here, let's get this game over quick, because we know what we got ahead of us next week. And we came out and did that, got it done early. We were able to sit down and relax a little bit at that end.
How important is complementary football? That y'all taking that 10-3 score to 26-3, all three phases of the game scored from that point?
It was huge. It's definitely huge. Anytime that we can get out there and play good complementary football, and you see the type of things that can happen when you get out there and do that. Everybody was on one accord, and those are the results of it.
What was it like to see that happen against the game plan?
It's big. Once you get that big lead, our guys get to feast on the pass rush, and we get to get picks on the back end. Unfortunately, we didn't get any, but after DB got his. But it's all fun, especially when we can stretch the lead that quick. And like you said, in a 3-minute stretch, and get out there and play with that lead, it's going to be tough.
Was anything Jron surprised you?
Nah, that stopped after last year. He had 5 picks last year, and that stopped after last year. We came in this year. Everything he's doing, it's things that I expect him to do, and he's doing it.
I noticed y'all in the defensive backfield kind of like, let us have one or two. It seems like they're all.
I just told him, it's like quarterbacks forget how to throw the ball when they throw to him. The ball is behind, the ball is bouncing up in there. I'm like, dang, every time. He's in great position every time, and when you throw the ball this way, he's making you pay. We lost 7. He had 11 picks in a season, and it's like he's following suit. He got out and maybe think, okay, now we can go right back at it. He's getting that ball at a high level, and can't complain about it, man. He's great. He's doing great.
When you think back to the Niners week leading up to that game, what has to go different this week?
We just have to come out and play our ball. A physical brand of football, and be disciplined. The Niners week, penalties killed us on crucial downs, third downs. Had us starting behind the sticks with false starts and things like that, giving up 5 yards on just lining up off sides, and a lot of extra things that hurt us in that game. So we have to go out there and understand that we have to play a disciplined brand of football, understanding that when it comes down to those top teams, you can't beat yourself. Against the lesser teams in this league, you have a little wiggle room for if those types of things happen. But with these top teams, you have to give yourself the best chance to win, and being yourself is not going to cut it.
I know that Deron Bland's interceptions get the shine, but what about that play where he reads the screen and goes and makes a tackle the way that he did down there?
Jron Kearse from the locker room at AT&T Stadium. We talked a lot about the defense early on as we welcome you back, Barry Church, Isaiah Stanback. I want to talk about special teams because you look at what John Fossil's group has been doing. Kevontae Turpin, big returns. You had the punt block from Sam Williams early on, and then, of course, what Brandon Aubrey's doing. 18 of 18 to start a career, tied for the most field goals to begin a career consecutively in NFL history. Where's the hole on this special teams unit?
Right now, it's hard to find. I thought when they lost C.J. Goodwin a couple weeks back, I thought that would be humongous when you talk about the special teams and their production. But they were able to come out today and pretty much light a fire for this team. Kevontae Turpin was able to get 2 huge returns. We know one was called back via penalty, but you'd love to see that from Kevontae Turpin. And then, like you mentioned, Kyle, Sam Williams coming through with the block, creating a safety out there. So the special teams is playing a huge part for this team overall. And I thought they missed C.J. Goodwin a little bit more than they did.
You know, C.J. Goodwin went out, but, you know, you have a Wanye Thomas go ahead and step in. And they gained Wanye Thomas back this week. So what happened? You saw an uptick in the special teams production this week. I'm not saying it's all him, but I'm saying that you have that presence back in the locker room and back on the field. You got Dorrance Armstrong that's out there doing what he does best, okay? It's the reason why they extended this man. Not just because of his production on defense, but because of his production and his presence on especially on the front lines of special teams, okay? He was able to go out there, force a double team, and all of a sudden here comes Sam Williams with the big block. Okay, you got Brandon Aubrey. You have somebody that you trust now from that perspective. Once you cross a certain portion of the field, you know that you have points in the bag. That gives the confidence a bolt of confidence. That gives Coach McCarthy the freedom to call a little bit more riskier plays on offense because you know that you're assured some points. So all these things start to come together, and when you have the specialists that are playing like this, and you have Bones Fossil that's really in his bag, Cavante Turpin making big returns, you got to have a lot of production from that third of the game.
It really speaks to the depth of this Cowboys roster and what they've built through the years. But having impact like that from those type of guys, it helps you win ball games. And you saw that on Sunday here in Week 8. Can they win a ball game in Week 9, though? When we come back, Nate Newton rejoins the crew, and we talk about this preview. Ooh, it's going to be a good one. Cowboys-Eagles in Week 9. We'll talk about it next on Cowboys OT.
The Cowboys OT was brought to you by Sleep Number, the official sleep and wellness partner of the Dallas Cowboys, and by blockchain.com. Make your crypto play today.
AT&T Stadium full of happy Cowboys fans here in Week 8 of the NFL season. After a 43-20 win over the Los Angeles Rams, the Cowboys now with 5 wins on the 2023 season, and it sets up a winner-takes-first-place battle next week, Sunday afternoon, 3:25 kickoff on Fox. The Dallas Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles. It's going to be another fun matchup. Barry Church, Nate Newton, Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Yeomans wrapping up Cowboys OT. But Barry, I feel like there's a lot of pause with something like this. There's a lot of hesitation from Cowboys fans to fully dive into a matchup like this. Why should you dive in if the Cowboys are able to take advantage of Philadelphia on Sunday?
Well, this is going to be a huge matchup because if I'm correct right here, is first place on the line?
First place would be on the line because the Cowboys would be the same record and they would have the tiebreaker.
So this would definitely be a huge matchup overall for standings and hopefully getting that goal at the end of the season of maybe having home field advantage. We talked about it in the pregame about how this team has won now, 11 straight home games. So that home field is definitely huge for the Dallas Cowboys. But when you look at this matchup, I don't like it. I do not like it for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles offensively, they're stacked out there. When you look at receiver, the running game, the offensive line, I do not like the matchup, but you can never underestimate a Mike McCarthy team. He has his team ready to play week in and week out, so we'll see what's happening, but I don't like the matchup at all.
You know what, yeah, do your thing, Cowboys. Just go out and be physical. You've met this type of force before. You've had this in your heart and your mind since the 49ers game. Go out and meet them with force, but you can't have any pre-snap penalties. You got to play a perfect game because I agree with you, Barry. They got some athletes on that offense, and their defensive line is a beast. But what you have to do is go within and be the best player you can be and make sure you take care of your job individually, and you should be all right against Philadelphia.
Let the bulletin board remain blank. Don't go out there and put any bulletin board material on the board. Don't give these guys any extra ammo. This is a rivalry game. Let's not get it mixed up at all. So don't put gasoline on the fire. It's already fire. You already know that it's going to be hot and heated in there. You guys know that these guys are stacked. Offensively, they're stacked. They're giving you problems in the past. Defensively, they're more stacked than they've ever been. And guess what? You had problems with that in the past. So go back and look at the film, see the things where you've had issues in the past, and make the adjustments and continue to build upon your confidence that you've been exuding over the past few weeks. Don't go out there and make it any worse. Be quiet, be silent, all right? Keep it, a G stay silent like lasagna. Ain't that what they say? That's what you got to do. You got to remain silent and do your job.
I haven't heard that one. That one's a new one for me. That's a new one for me. Now, maybe they learned a lesson from Week 5 against San Francisco that by not giving that bulletin board material, not overhyping this. Get your job done. Do it the right way. The Cowboys, despite Philly's recent success, the Cowboys have won 4 of the last 5 against the Eagles. Keep that rolling in the right direction. Dak Prescott versus Jalen Hurts. Only the second time they've ever gone head-to-head. It should be a good one on Sunday. We'll be here, win or lose, to break it down for you next week, starting with Cowboys pregame live. For our entire crew, we'll see you next week after another Cowboys win.